Okay, so welcome to GDG Johannesburg. I hope you guys are excited this Wednesday afternoon and you are ready for some awesome lineups. Ready. Like today, we've got Bianca, we've got me, we've got awesome speakers. I hope you guys are ready and stay tuned. So, I'm sure you guys are wondering what is GDG, right? So GDG is Google Developer Groups. They are for developers who are interested in Google technologies, right? So we work with things like Android, Firebase, Angular, TensorFlow. We've got Chrome, we've got Talks, we've got Flutter, we've got Golang, and a bunch of other cool stuff. So if you're interested, you're like, why not GDG, right? So we've got you. So GDG Johannesburg meets up every first Wednesday of the month. So what we that's what we try to do. If you want to reach out to us, you can get us on GDG Community Dev /GDG Johannesburg. You can follow us on Twitter, GDG Johannesburg. We're on Instagram as well. But if you're curious about anything or just want to maybe give us a talk, any compliments or things we can improve on, so please reach out to us there. We have a code of conduct. This is very, very important. This is to ensure that everybody feels comfortable and understand that it's a harassment free zone, right? So we do not tolerate any harassments in the chats. If you've got any constructive criticism, please email it to us. If you're not sure about the code of conduct or the guidelines that you need to follow, you can just click on the link. So we'll include the link in the chats on YouTube. So you can just check that out there. So please try to obey by the code of conduct. And then we've got our wonderful speaker, our wonderful sponsor, sorry, from all the way from BBD, Offers in, Retro Rabbit, JetBrains. These are really, really cool people who are making this all possible. And of course, giving you guys some awesome swag. I am wearing my new Offers in t-shirt. Very excited. So yeah, a massive, massive shout out to our sponsors. Super grateful for the opportunities that they continue to provide us with. So maybe you want to be a speaker. I did allude to this a little bit earlier. So you can get in touch with us via email or Twitter. Whether you're new or experienced, you're very much welcome to become a speaker, talk about topics you love, tell us more about these Google tools that you're using, right? So even if you're a beginner or you're seasoned, more than welcome to come speak. Pretty please. Okay. And then for today's agenda, we've got Women Tech Makers. I am one of the Women Tech Makers as well. Um, and we'll be pushing social barriers, right? So I just try to give you guys a little bit of a warm welcome. I hope it was warm enough. We've got Women in Tech Journey and Barriers by Bianca. And then we have Need to Consume Regulation in the Gaming Industry by Sylvia. And then we've got Learning Terraforms Part 2 using GCP by me. And then we'll have an awesome survey and goodbyes, right? So just bear in mind of the times, they will have shifted a little bit because I have eaten into someone else's time due to load shedding schedules. So I understand it's been a bit rough. So please bear with us. And then, if you too would like to be like me, have some awesome offers and swag, it might be even cooler than what I have on. So do take a screenshot. We'll include the URL link into the chats. So if you could just take a quick screenshot of this and you could win yourself some awesome swag. Guys, I love freebies. So please do me justice. Make me proud and just take a screenshot and you can win some awesome swag. And then we've got survey. So the survey is also very, very important. We love feedback. Feedback helps us grow so we can do better. So if you could take a screenshot, give us feedback on the talks that we've given, what you'd love to see more of, a bit less of. So we'll take that all into account. So for this month, Women Tech Maker event, please take a screenshot, give us some wonderful feedback. And then obviously I'll tell you thank you once the talks are done. So yeah, I'm gonna stop sharing and give it over to Bianca.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this amazing event. Um,
Hello, hello, hello.
Thank you
Are
so
you
much for the
excited?
presentation. I'm very excited, actually. I
I
can see
love
that
the
we
pink hair. I am excited for your talk. I cannot wait.
I see that we already have some people watching our live, so that is
Yes, so
amazing.
we need those people. We thank those people for spending their Wednesday afternoon with us, right? And I am looking forward to your talk and I cannot wait. Without further ado, I'm going to jump off into the background and then
Perfect.
just allow you to take the stage. Okay.
I just want a confirmation that you can see my presentation. That's all I need.
Okay.
Is it
I'll
okay? Can you see my presentation?
It's beautiful. Beautiful
Yeah.
lilac color. We love it.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for the introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Bianca Valentina Dimitriou, and I'm coming from Romania. And I want to talk to you today about women in tech and the journeys that we have as women in tech. I want to talk a little bit about my journey. So I come from Romania. As you can see, the business analyst title, it has another color because I was a software developer for a few days ago, and I just got promoted as a business analyst. I'm a Gold Microsoft Student Ambassador in Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador project, and I am a student in the Master of Artificial Intelligence and Distributed Computing in Romania. Um, More about me. I am both a graphic designer and a singer, and of course, an art lover. And today I want to talk to you about women in tech. Let's take a look around and talk a little bit about women in tech in the past. Women in the past and how we evolved throughout the years. There were quite a few things that women could do in IT in the past few years because, as we know, there were a little bit of the idea that women should not be engineers or programmers or stuff like that. But in the present, we are women. We have access to a lot of amazing stuff, a lot of platforms, a lot of events, projects, and campaign that are actually very good to us. They are teaching us how to be grateful for how we are, to be grateful of the information that we have right now, and to join a lot of projects, a lot of communities, to take jobs that maybe we were not courageous enough to take. So I want to have a little journey with you right now. If you're a woman and you want to have a dream job in tech, this is a presentation for you because we are talking about that. A lot of women are quite, I don't know, maybe not bold enough to get a job in the industry because they are like, okay, what if I don't get the job? What if they don't like me? But why wouldn't you try after all? There are a lot of projects and campaigns that are doing this for women. There are absolutely a lot of platforms that are waiting for you to join and start talking about what do you want to do, starting to train. Let's take, for example, what we have right now, engaging women in tech. There are women in every single industry: biology, chemistry, engineering, mechanics. Why wouldn't you be one of them if you want that? Just take technology by example. We are talking about women in tech right now. So let's say that you're a woman that absolutely loves technology and you want to do something about that. Well, Google what you can do about it. Google your role, Google your job, and see, well, I think I want to be a programmer. What do I have to do for that? Maybe I have to take some classes. Maybe I need to start on catching up with programming, Python, Java, C Sharp, whatever I want to do. And just start on, surfing the internet, getting on what you want to do, and just, start applying for roles. There will be absolutely no one that will be like, okay, you're a woman, you will not be engaging in technology. Absolutely not. There are a lot of companies that are looking forward to actually get women to apply for the jobs, and they're encouraging them to do that because, I mean, jobs are not gender related. It's not about that. You should not think about that because they're not gender related, and lots of domain have a lot of success with women, as much success as they have with men as well. So why wouldn't you give it a try? Let's talk a little bit about difficulty and opportunity. At Albert Einstein said, in the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. I really would suggest you to look for environments where you and your skills are valued. Not just go somewhere because you think that they have a fame or a name that is recognized all over the world. Go for places where you feel like you are getting closer to your goals, and a place where you feel warm, where you have a lot of colleagues that having the same mindset that you have. A lot of colleagues that, I don't know, are like, okay, let's do this project together. I like your opinions. I like the way you're thinking. Don't beg for recognition or mercy when it comes to opportunities or career. You should just rely on your own skills and knowledge. Trust your gut, and whenever you want to do something, just go for it. As you can see in the picture, we can do it, and we are on the way on the way to success. It doesn't matter if you want to be a mechanic. It doesn't matter if you want to be a programmer or a designer or a doctor. It's up to you. And it doesn't matter if you're a woman or not. You can do it. You just need to be consistent. You just need to have the ambition to do that and have the courage to actually get into it and do it. Take me, for example. I had a lot of people telling me that you cannot be a programmer like your girl. You want to do games, you want to do programming. Like, no, you're not made for that. And I was a software developer a few days ago, and I've got a promotion to business analyst. And a lot of people were like very amazed, like, "Oh my God, you're a woman! You got a role in software development." Yes, and I'm actually good at it, and I'm good in my current role as a business analyst as well. Because it doesn't really matter of your gender, it doesn't really matter of your country, of your regional tradition. It's all about diversity and inclusion, and we need to think very carefully about that and give opportunities and equal chances to everyone. So, what about making dreams come true? How about that? Roy Bennett said that dreams only work if you take action, and the surest way to make your dreams come true is to live them. That's quite a bold quote, so let's talk a little bit about that. So, you need to be ready for a challenge and you need to be consistent with what you want to do because there will be a lot of obstacles in the way. And if you're not consistent with what you want to do, at some point you will be like stopped and say, okay, I failed today. I will probably just quit. No, you should be consistent. You should do the same thing that you do every day and encourage yourself to be better and better every day. And by this, by trusting your gut, by being consistent, you can make your dream come true. You will follow your dream in your own conditions by hard work and ambition. So, I want to talk a little bit here about the projects that I made because they're relevant to this topic. Um, I organize a lot of hackathons for girls in Romania, and I do some partnership with other countries as well. And there are a lot of women that are asking me, why did I have the courage to do that? Why did I have the courage to step forward and be like, okay, I want to be a developer? How can I do that? And my answer to them is, I wanted to do something for myself. I didn't think about the money. I didn't think about the fame or the fact that, I will just do like that. Women are better than men. No, I didn't think about that. I wanted to be a programmer for myself because I loved technology like I love it right now. And I wanted to create something that people can use in the future as well. And this is what I'm doing right now because I'm having a lot of healthcare sponsorships and things like that in my work. And it's amazing because you can get something, you can have a dream and you can work to get it done. And if you're not consistent, if you're like, okay, let's step backwards, I might not be good at it. You can't know that unless you try. And if you want to try, you really need to invest time. You really need to invest a lot of passion and a lot of energy in it because afterwards it's your dreams. If you're not going to invest in it, who will? Absolutely nobody. In Romania, we actually organized two events, really big events with more than 300 of girls. Uh, Girls in AI Hackathon, it's named, one in Bucharest and one in Timișoara. And there were a lot of women that joined, some from high school, some from universities, and women that were more mature than that. And they were like, okay, I want to try that. It sounds nice. I have a lot of recognition right here. There are a lot of women like me. They want to do something for their dreams. And we had hackathons with a lot of subjects in AI. and I was mesmerized. The results were absolutely amazing. The teams were absolutely grateful. They were talking about how to be a woman. They presented, okay, this is our AI, and they really wanted to do something not only for themselves, but in the same time they understood that they need to actually help the whole women community to do that. And what I saw in that was not only a passion for technology, but a complex solution, a complex IT solution for that technicality, complex technicality, even though not all of the participants had like strong backgrounds of technology or programming, which was absolutely amazing. And lots of smiles, a lot of people that were grateful that they had the opportunity to actually get and join an event where they can be themselves. There were there were a lot of women there, not only women but guys as well. The participants were only women, but the trainers were males as well. But I could see them thriving in that environment, like the women environment where they're like, okay, I love this, I can do that, I feel like myself. And after that, actually a lot of women applied for jobs in IT, and in the same time they applied for positions as students in polytechnics and IT universities, which is absolutely amazing. So, if I have to talk a little bit about pieces of mind that I have to share for people, and this part is meant for everybody, not just women. This is equal gender for everybody. You need to believe in yourself and what you do and what you truly desire. No one can actually dictate what you can do or not, because it's up to you and up to the time and skills investment that you are willing to take for that. So, if the future is in your hand and it's up to you, what are you going to do and how to model your future? Why not fight for that dream? Why not go ahead and do what you like? Take that book that you wanted or start that course that you wanted to take, but you were not courage enough to do that. And just start by that. How about, joining some forums about women in tech and see what your opportunities are based on your country, based on your region, what you can do. If you want to be a programmer, if you want to be an engineer or something like that, just look at your opportunities and how you can get to that. Do not think about stigmas and what social barriers you have. Just think about what you want and be dauntless, and don't forget to relax from time to time, because that is important as well. We don't want people to get too frustrated. So I really think that people should dare to be women in tech, and the future is in our hands. So I'm really glad that I have a lot of opportunities to be speakers to events like this, because I can see that the interest for women in tech, it's higher and higher, and that is amazing. Because some years ago it was not like that, and people were having lots of trouble. They couldn't find events that were like, respectful for women, and that were, having the great mindset for accepting women as equals. And I'm amazed about this and the fact that a lot of people have these opportunities today and they can do something about that. So, you know, just look online. You have a lot of resources. It's 2021. We're going further to 2022. So just Google, surf your internet, look for sources of inspiration, and try to do something that you like. That is very important. Do not think about the money, do not think about the fame, because that won't keep you long enough. That won't fuel you with anything just for a short period of time. So find the right fuel for you, something that makes you want to wake up in the morning and say, I'm really happy with what I do, and I want to make other people think the same. I want to guide other people to get their things in life, to get their goals done. I want to be something that I want to be. It's my life and I will do it just as I want it. A woman or a man doesn't matter about that. So dare to be whatever you want. Now, thank you very much, everyone. This was my presentation, and I will stop sharing right now. And I'm really grateful for this event. I hope that you liked my presentation, and
No, I
feel
loved
free
it.
to chat.
It was amazing. It was really cool. So I really, really thoroughly enjoyed your talk. As a women tech maker, we're actually planning a hackathon this December. So if anyone in the audience would like to help out, be a tech mentor, sponsor even, so definitely reach out to GDG Johannesburg or me personally on Twitter. But I love what you're about, Bianca. I love that you are empowering more and more women to get into this space and not be afraid. So I really, really enjoyed your talk. It was really wonderful. I don't know if there's any, I don't see any questions in the chats yet, but yeah, so okay. Okay, there's no questions yet. But I just wanted to find out like which women sort of inspired you to get to where you are. Because I understand that it's a lot of hard work. You have to put yourself in a good environment and a safety net and all that wonderful stuff. But who are the people that you sort of like look up to and say, you know what, I kind of want to model after this person, or when I saw this, it was kind of like my aha moment, you know? So what was that defining moment for you?
I don't have a certain idol, but a defining moment for me was when I started my project with the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors and I was talking to people and I could see their smiles and I could see their enthusiasm that, okay, so there are people like me, women that want to do something with their lives. And that was the moment when I clicked, when I heard the
Mm,
applauses, when I
mm,
saw them, when I heard the feedbacks where they're like, okay, this is the first project where I feel like myself, and that was the
yeah.
moment that like was okay, I want to do that. I want to guide women through this tech
I love it.
journey.
So, what do you think are sort of like the barriers to entry, especially for women? So, I think that just sort of touches a bit on also why we're here. Um, I find that for me, um, I get a bit scared to sort of showcase what I can or cannot do, because it's like you need to be 100% sure before you say, okay, I can do this, right? So what do you find when what sort of gets us out of our comfort zone when we are in a tech environment like a hackathon, right? Do you
Hmm.
provide training? Do you walk them through it? Or is it like they just needed a safe space so they can flourish?
Right, it depends from person to person. At the hackathon that I had, there were a lot of people, and I could see a lot of girls that were like from high school that were a little bit nervous. They wanted to
Mm,
leave and stuff like that. And what I did with every single group was quite different based on what they were having. But usually you have to make them feel comfortable. Like,
mm,
okay, if you're not on the first place, what does it matter? Did you have fun? Did you do what you like? You had a lot of networking, you met a lot of people, and you presented your amazing idea. That doesn't mean that you're not good enough. I mean,
mm.
we should encourage women to do that, not for the prize, just for themselves, to present what they do and do something that is valuable for the world.
Okay. No, I love it. I love it. I really love, and you're like such a young, inspiring woman, and you're doing so much in this space. Because a lot of the times I find that the people that I sort of talk with at times, they're scared to even get in because they're like, no, technology is too hard. I can't do this. And I'm like, it's so much broader than what you're thinking. There's so many opportunities in the tech space.
Yes.
Um, so no, I really, really applaud you for what you're doing. Carry on doing hackathons. Do share it with us so we can also just post it on social media, so people can be aware. Even though we're in South Africa and you're in Romania, we'll join those hackathons too. But yeah, thank you so much for having this session with us.
Thank you so much. It was amazing. I can't wait to hear the rest of the presentations. Like, I'm really interested of the subject.
Okay, okay. We're
Hey.
gonna change things up actually. So it happens that I'm the next speaker as our wonderful Sylvia is having some technical issues, but I'm not sure if she'll be fine. But then we'll just swap things around a little. So the last talk is going in next, which is my talk. And I think it just speaks volumes because I struggled with my tech demo the first time. So I hope it goes well this time. But yeah, and I hope you guys come on this journey with me.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you. Okay. So, as you guys heard just a little bit, So we had our wonderful speaker, Bianca, an inspiring young lady. I think she will be sharing her social media handles in the chats just so that you can follow and just see what she's getting up to. So I am your next speaker, very scared. We'll be talking about terraforms. It's literally, the title is fitting. So I am going to share my screen now. I usually have like a billion tabs, but today we tried not to do that, right? So, terraforms, playing around with it using GCP basically, right? Um, Okay, so in terms of the table of content, the overview, I'll be describing the Terraform topic, which commands I've used a lot. Um, okay, so I just said this because I was like, did I understand the assignment? This is not really relevant, but yeah, okay. Um, and then about the topic, we'll just be reflecting on what we learned or what I'm just about to walk you guys through. Introduction. So basically, Terraform can manage both existing service providers and custom in house solutions, building a resource graph and creates or modifies non dependent resource parallel. So when I read that, I was like, okay, I do not understand what they're trying to say, but let's go through it, right? So this is from the official Terraform site. When you go on Hashicorp, you'll find this there. But in layman's terms, right? IAC, infrastructure as code that is used to provision infrastructure. So basically, we're using the Terraform to provision infrastructure, and then we'll be provisioning it to the different providers, your AWS, your IBM, your Azure, your GCP, whether it's Cloudflare. I'm not sure Cloudflare works properly with it, but I'm sure it does, right? There's support for a lot of things. If you're not sure about certain things, we Google it. And then what I found is that knowledge empowers me. Well, in this case, I said you, but it empowers me, right? And that is the key. So I had to obviously try to equip myself, learn a couple of things here and there, ask for help a lot. Um, and then the second feature is which commands I used a lot. So prehistoric Terra, this is what I call it. Terraform init. Terraform format, Terraform plan, Terraform apply. So what happens with Terraform init is it initializes the downloads that'll be required as per the provider. And then with Terraform format, it reformats your configurations in the standard style. So there's a standard format. We can refer to it as a syntax, but let's stick to the naming convention, right? So that's how I got it. And then we've got Terraform plan, looks at what you currently have and tries to reach the desired state. And then we've got Terraform apply, it makes the changes live. Then we've got dinosaur habitats. So, um, in my context, what I find is I'm being exposed to more and more things that are outside my comfort zone, outside the globe. Well, in terms of the globe, right? So I would love for people to be a part of my tech journey as I grow, right? And then what I like a little fun fact is that there's 1,469 companies that are currently using Terraform in their tech stack. And then, so the problem versus the solution. I had to learn this because I am contributing to an open source community project that I'm doing at work. And the solution is despite not knowing what well, I still don't know what I'm doing, but we're getting there, right? Despite not knowing what I was doing, having support around me, and of course, Google, those are the things that definitely help me a lot. So, having the late night calls with my tech mentor, with colleagues, with Google, YouTube, it's definitely been a stepping stone in the right direction. And this is somewhat a process of growth where you ask, you research, you break things, and you build. So it's very good to be able to know what are the right questions to also ask. If you like feel perhaps maybe this might be a stupid question to ask someone, Google it. The way you say it, somebody's probably said it the way you said it. You can Google it as is, right? And then researching. So just using the different tools, knowing where to go. Like the documentation is usually very clear. but sometimes you find that the documentation is faulty. So contributing to something, you actually now start pinpointing where the faults are, right? And then you'll break things. So tonight we're gonna break things. So I've got a bit of code that we'll be running, but I made sure that it's not gonna work, and then we'll troubleshoot it together. And then we'll build, right? And this is sort of like my process to growth, and then just an overview of which commands basically that I'll be using a bit. Things like validate, console, workspace, I won't be using in this demo. Init, Terraform init, format, plan, apply, destroy is what we'll be utilizing. And I hope the demo gods are with me. Okay. Um, so I am just gonna share again. So this is where I went a lot, and I still have it on my normal tabs. It's just that I try to make it neat for you guys, but this has been a stepping stone. So just the Terraform IO page. Um, and for today, what we'll be doing is we'll be creating a SQL database instance, and then it'll be deployed on GCP using Terraform. I've already pre-populated the code, but we're gonna try to run some Terraform commands, and we'll see things are not gonna work, right? And then we'll just troubleshoot that together. So one of the first commands, obviously, well, depending on where you're at, but then you just want to check which branch things are at. So I'm at the right branch, so I don't want to mess up things because I don't have a GCP account just yet, right? So I'll have to definitely destroy this. Um, Okay, so we'll be running some commands. I hope the screen is big enough for everyone to see. I did try to make it a bit bigger. But if we're going through the code, the documentation, we've got links. So in terms of best practice, just to make it clear for the next person when they're going through Terraform examples and they want to create a SQL database instance, this is what they would go through. This is what they would see. And then when we start getting to the resources and provisioning aspect of how much CPU you want to distribute in terms of the database, which regions you want to deploy it to with regards to networking. Do you want to be using Postgres or something else, right? So this gets very granular real quick. So this is just a simple example, right? Um, and then over here, you can definitely plug in your different provider. So if you'll be using perhaps, so in this instance, I'm using GCP, you've got your AWS, you've got your Azure. I believe Alibaba is also supported, as well as IBM. I'm not sure about others, but then you could always just Google it, right? Okay, so what we have over here is literally the Terraform will be deployed on GCP. We've got our documentations. If there's anything that's unclear, you need a variable for your project ID. And then we're talking about the different regions and zones that it'll be available. So the points of presence, where obviously now when we deploy our SQL database instance, where is it going to be available? And then we have our resource. So usually what we do is we say change name. So now you'll use whatever name is appropriate for you. And then we've got the DB version, the region, and the tier. So you'll find when you're using GCP, if you're going to be using the GUI, there's different tiers that are available. So you could do this using the GUI, but I think for developers, it's quite a leap for them to be able to use something like Terraform. There is Pulumi as well, which is making quite a bit of headway. But yeah, so I think a lot of people are still on the Terraform train, right? So let us struggle forward. Okay, so we're gonna run a Terraform. Uh, we're gonna obviously try to initialize before we format. Okay, so we'll just run a Terraform init command, and then we'll see what happens. That was successful. The naming convention. So even if there's like perhaps, um, let's take this for example there. Okay, save it. And then we'll try Terraform. Okay, let's just see variable. Okay, so now I'm not sure, but we'll find it. There we go. Okay, you see, it puts it back in the correct format because then I literally moved something away from being indented properly. Okay, so you can see the reference as well there, over here. Okay, so that's still fine. And then what we'd like to do is now we want to run Terraform plan and ultimately Terraform apply. Once we're done, we want to destroy so that we don't waste a lot of money, right? So this is where it can get really expensive real quick, especially if maybe you're running some big data or any type of TerraFlow.io tools, whether it's Hadoop and so forth. Okay, so we'll be running Terraform. Okay, sorry. So we'll be running Terraform plan before Terraform apply. So as mentioned before, now it's going to ask me for the project ID value, right? So project ID value, I don't have that. Let's just hit enter and see what happens. Oh no, okay. This is what I wanted. So we'll go to line 31. And then if we look at line 31, we've got the instance, right? And what you find here is that the naming, it's basically referencing something that doesn't exist, right? So if we come over here, we've got instance, but over here, it's master. So we just have to fix that and see what happens, right? Get, okay. Okay. And let's try it again. So the Terraform init command you only need to run once. Let's try Terraform plan, enter. Okay, there we go. So now when it says project ID, enter value, what needs to happen is we need to go over here and we need to have our ID, but I already have my ID. Sorry. There. Okay. So I can just either copy this, but I do know my ID. Okay, let us try it again. SQL database instance is not declared in the root module. Okay, right. So this is another error. That one was referring to the instance name, and this one is saying something else. And then over here we've got enter value, project ID. So project ID is referring to here. So that's the ID, so you can actually speak to GCP properly. So here the naming convention is incorrect. So try to avoid using a lot of underscores, rather camel case maybe, but sometimes that can also give problems, right? So in this instance, we can just say that. And then what we will do is we'll run Terraform plan again. And then it's going to ask for the project ID. We copied it, we'll paste it. Okay, we still have an issue, right? Manage resource SQL database instance has not been declared in the root. Okay. Okay, there we go. They're going to come here. Okay, so basically it's not finding that there, right? Okay, so what we need to do is project. And if there's anything wrong with the formatting that I would have created, we just run Terraform format, right? Yeah, there we go. Terraform ID var should be good to go for now, right? Okay, SQL database ingress. There we go. Okay, let's just save changes for now. Okay, we're gonna run Terraform format, Terraform plan, paste the ID. Okay, so if we look over here, it's a bit different. So now, if there's any changes that you made, so if people want to roll back, it helps with audit trails. You'll be able to see all of that, right? Okay. And then what we're gonna do next? We're gonna say we've got Terraform. It actually tells you there, so we need to run Terraform apply. There we go. Project ID again. Then it's gonna ask you that, so you need to say yes. Oh, fun little disclaimer. Do not kill it while it is creating the DB instance, right? So if you do kill it beforehand, because I've done it a couple of times, um, what happens is you need to go onto your GCP GUI and delete it manually, and it takes a while. But yeah, just also always try to remember to um, destroy so that you don't waste money if you're not using your own funds. Like, yeah. So that, but even if it's your money, you just want to save money and just destroy, check and see if it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. So this will probably take about 9 minutes or so, or less, hopefully, depending on my internet speed. It's very, very slow, but we'll try to get it up to speed. So these are just some of the contributions that I've done. Ones I'm struggling with in terms of the documentation would be the DNS one. Uh, okay, it's that one that I struggle with the documentation from Terraform. And then the one with regards to the security side of things, the IAM documentation is also not that clear, but the ones that are not highlighted, the documentation is fine. And this was just for demoing purposes. Cloud Functions is also cool in terms of how they've documented things. But if you want to get really granular with things, I suggest just sort of like having side notes over here, or comments, just breaking it down on a granular level. So you'd probably wanna, okay, we'll literally like Terraform. Like I said, we literally like Google everything, right? So this is what my life would be like. So this is still very at a simple level, right? You're just basically configuring the DNS to the provider. It does get granular when you're looking at networking as well. But it's very good to just familiarize yourself with the different terms that they're using and so forth. Okay, so I'm just waiting for GCP to connect properly. You'll see I would have tested before. I just want to refresh here and then see if there's anything that's happening. Oh, and if you come across another error, just make sure that your SQL is enabled. So your database is fine, then you should be fine. It's already there, but anyway. Okay. See, I deleted it. I had to manually delete, and that was fun. So now I think the only issue I'm faced with is the internet speed that's slow. But basically, we literally provisioned database, whether it's for a client or whoever, you can do this. You can be very strict with regards to networking as to who can use which part of the API, IP address, as well as how much space you're provisioning them with, how much VMs they need, and so forth. Yeah. So it's still busy loading, fun times, but we called this literally change name. When we apply any changes, I'll just change the naming convention, then you'll see the two, but it's just that it takes 9 minutes. So 9 minutes of fun, right? But please remember to not kill it, because then you will struggle for a bit if you've got slow internet speed like me. And I think that's about it. So those are parts or some of my learnings. And yeah, I don't know if there's any questions. If Lucy wants to maybe hop on while we wait for the database instance. Okay, we'll wait for Lucy. Okay. I think this is the fun parts of the demo. But
Yes.
because we're not sure what's happening here.
Let's wait for lunch, everyone. Yeah. You want hot food, but you look like a hot mess. Gogo's got this. It's easy. Working from home. Just tap your phone, yeah,
I probably should have planned this out a bit better so that while we wait for the database instance to be created, that'll probably take like 4 more minutes. So I think by the time the song is done, well, before it's done, we'll be on track, right? I'm just gonna jump on. Whoa, sorry. Let's just come here. Okay, so I just wanted to check if Lucy wants to come on. And if there's any questions you can ask, now would be a great time. But yeah,
Hey.
that would just be.
I'm here. Just wondering if you guys can hear me. Okay, cool, perfect. So, yeah, just to answer the question in the audience, yeah, we did have a very weird sound. I don't know where that audio is coming from.
I heard it too.
Yeah, yeah, not too sure what's happening. We do apologize. It's not something that we planned, so yeah. I don't know where the glitches are coming from. We do apologize about that. So yeah, very interesting talk for your Terraform. It's a Hashicorp stack product, isn't it?
Okay, sorry. I think it's very strange. Okay. I don't hear it now. I don't know if it's you, Vusi, but maybe you can just unmute again.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's much
Yeah,
better
it's
now.
much better now.
Okay. Now I was just trying to I was just saying Hashicorp products. That's a very interesting tech stack because I actually played around with some of their products before. So, and Terraform is one that I actually haven't gotten to yet. Funny enough, I've actually been scared of playing around with it. Go
Yeah,
figure.
see why it's called Terraform.
Yeah, yeah. Nomad and Console have been very interesting ones to play with, but Terraform is one of those ones that I haven't really been able to. There we go. My camera's working. I haven't really been able to actually get to and use and just figure out exactly how it works. I've seen people type and make it do fun things, but I've just been like, yeah, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. So I've been procrastinating it every single time,
Nice,
and
nice. I
and
think just
yeah.
working on the open source project allows you to sort of play around and break things, right?
Yeah,
So
fair
it's
enough.
also like a lot of learning because you need to go through so much documentation as well.
Yeah. So I mean, thank you so. And with regards to you working on GCP, and I noticed you have to have a particular product ID.
Oh no, it doesn't have to look like mine.
Yeah.
So when I was setting up my environment, I'm the one who made it auto, so it just auto generated the numbers behind that. So you can just have something like your name and surname, and it's easy for you with regards to your project ID. So don't do what I did.
Okay, cool. Do
Yeah.
as I say, not what I do. Okay, cool.
I guess we learn from our mistakes, right? So I'm just
Yeah,
waiting
yeah.
for it to finish up, but it's almost there. It literally does take about like 9 to 10 minutes. So yeah, I didn't think about that clearly. That's why I started playing music, and I was like, "What do I do?" Panicking, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, it's definitely something that I definitely want to play around with and yeah, I'm a big fan of Hashicorp products as well. So yeah, thank you for at least getting the initial hurdle, at least mentally.
It's not that bad. It's
like
really
over
not
it.
that
So
bad.
yeah, I'll definitely
Yeah.
I'll definitely plan around. Does so because Terraform is more of a GCP thing, right? So you can't use it in conjunction with things like Firebase or anything like that.
You can actually, but
You
that's really
can. Oh, what can you
different.
do with it?
I haven't played around with it that much, but what I know is that
Mm-hmm.
when it starts getting detailed, that's where I said I was just doing a very basic, simple example and deploying something. So if you can use it on GCP, right, you can definitely use it on Terraform.
Wow. Okay.
Mm.
Interesting. I didn't
And
know.
it's not just with GCP. You can
Mm-hmm.
obviously, like I said, mention the different providers. So that's when you start getting very specific. Um, one of the colleagues that were, yes, like it is Terraform, it was just hectic because just from like provisioning the APIs, who's getting which one to which department and knowing where it goes.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And then you know that you're always gonna have an audit trail, right? And you know that who's being utilized, like as an organization, who's using what and how much space is needed. And you don't need to always go back now to GCP. You can just change on the Terraform itself, and then you can just apply the change, and then it's rolled out, even with like version control and so forth. And you can see who did what.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. Nice.
Okay,
Nice.
so let's just go back to the demo. It's still
Okay.
bit, no, it's
Sure.
still loading. That's the only thing. So I think it's because my internet is really slow, but I will share one more time a little.
Okay.
Um, okay. Yeah, so I think the only thing with me is that I'm impatient. So you just need to be very patient at this point. So 10 to 15 minutes now seem longer 9 minutes. We're waiting for it to actually deploy, but I think it has to do with my internet because I am hotspotting myself with the phone.
Okay, cool. No, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
So can you also do like network configs with this?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah, in a previous life, I used to manually do IP routing. So it's very interesting that if imagine if you could do just network config with Terraform as well as your compute, it
There we
makes
go.
deploying stuff. So, oh, there we go. Okay,
Yes.
I'll hand it over through to you, and you can take us through.
No, I'm literally done. This is the end of
Are you
it.
done? Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are done. But this is just to showcase that you can see the database has been there. Okay. There's something weird in the air, but okay. Okay, so then you see I've got my user ID, we've got the region that it's in. If you look at it closely, you'll also see the different zone that has been stipulated, the memory, the storage, the CPU. So it usually defaults that if you don't specify. And then public, and then you can see we created it now. So from then till now, that's when it worked. And then, as mentioned before, the most important step, right? We don't want to get in trouble. Destroy, right? We will run Terraform, destroy, and did you mean, sorry, spelling. Don't we love it? Terraform. I don't know what I said. And then we've got the project ID again. Okay, so when we go back after some time, enter value, yes, we'll find that it'll be gone after refreshing the page. Okay, failed to delete the instance because declaration protection. Okay, there we go. So now here, probably have to say the false. Let's try that out. Hope it works. If it doesn't want to work, I'll manually do it again. Okay. I think just removing this then. Now. Sorry. Yeah, that. Let's try it again. Okay, great. I hope it works this time, because if it doesn't work, I might have to manually do it. Okay. Nope, manually, right? But anyway, we see it here. You just hit that button, confirm, and say change DB. We'll troubleshoot some more. Yeah, figure it out. So we'll be deleting this again, and it'll be deleted after some time. And then last but not least, I just wanted to reflect a little. Okay, thank you for going on this terrifying journey with me. If you'd like to learn more about Terraform, go on the Hashicorp website, and you'll play around with it, ask questions. I did write a bit of a blog, basically covering the things that I learned, and now we were just learning how to use it with GCP, right? But yeah, thank you for having me, and I'm gonna stop sharing.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Vio. That was a great talk. Like you said, I feel like now I'll actually muster the courage and play around with Terraform and actually dig into the docs and just kind of see what it's all about. And that, so yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, and like a massive shout out to the audience. We see you, Julia. Julie, sorry. Yeah, so thank you for having me, Lucy. And I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who just sort of makes it easier when we're going on this journey, because it's not easy being in front of people demoing. But I just want to say a massive thanks. I think it is your sound, Lucy. There's just something wrong here.
Yeah, apologies. I don't know what's off my computer. I'll sort it after I do apologize, everyone. So.
Okay, no problems. So, are you gonna introduce the next speaker? I think I should, right?
Yeah,
that
go
was
for it. Yeah. It is a woman tech maker, so I think I will pop out.
Okay. So, as they say, we save the best for last. We have the one and only Sylvia, and she's going to be talking about some incredible stuff. I hope you guys are ready for her. I don't know if she's going to hop on, but she will be covering the need to consume regulation in the gaming industry. So, I'm not a massive gamer, but I have dabbled around with Among Us in the dark. Hi, Sylvia.
Hey, hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really sorry about the technical issues. Those were unforeseen, and we make do. So
yes,
I hope you can.
Must go on.
Yeah, I hope you can bear with me not having a PowerPoint. I tried using my laptop. The specs started clashing, to slowing everything down. So I just said to do everything from my phone.
No, don't worry about it. We've got you. We understand that the demo gods are not with you, as they weren't with me till the end. So yeah, no, take it away. I know it's going to be a bit difficult, so if you need assistance, do shout. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to your talk.
Okay, thank you so much. So, okay, let me give a brief background about myself. My name is Sylvia Gathoni, but in the gaming industry, my gamer tag is Queen Arrow. I'm a tech employer and content creator, and for lack of a better word, my day job is I'm a lawyer. Recently graduated from law school. I began my gaming journey in 2017. I just began playing games professionally because I thought it was cool. And when I started at, say, placing highly in some competitions here and there, here in Kenya, I decided to do this for real. But I realized something as my gaming journey was going on. As you know, in the gamings, in the video games that we play and consume, we interact with the in-game economies. I'm sure, let's say, for the members of the audience, if you've been playing Candy Crush or these are the games like Subway Surfers or something like that. Yeah, sometimes they're asked to use real world money to make purchases for coins or for other in-game currencies. If you want to, let's say, have a much more enjoyable experience while playing. This proved the same for AAA games. For those not in the know, the AAA games that they give, these video games with really huge budgets, budgets that rival movie franchises like those of the Avengers. So I realized that this was potentially harmful because the way these games are designed, they are kind of meant to induce you into making purchases, so they kind of make your progression in the game really difficult. So these purchases are known as microtransactions, which are, as I explained, transactions of small amounts that occur within digital games. And then I realized another thing, that the people who are most likely to be affected by by these purchases are children, because they're the ones who really engage with these video games and their in-game economies. And the fact is that there's a serious lack of regulation on this end. And I saw that there was a gap on the side of the law, where the law has failed to catch up with technology. A lot of our laws were designed were made at a time where no one really foresaw how how far technology would advance. And I feel that it's about time that we started having these discussions about regulating our regulating our our technology and the in-game economies. People when I mentioned this to some of my colleagues, they felt that they started asking me like, sorry, they asked me like, microtransactions are optional, why it's not really that big of a deal. But I feel that we fail to account for something that this is where the addictive tendencies of video games may come in, because you might really want to advance and progress in your game, but sorry, you might really want to advance in your game, and you want to have that status that I'm really good at this game, but there's the lack of ethics that there's the lack of ethics in terms of how these games and their in-game economies are being designed. And it's only fair that we talk about enjoying video games while at the same time having a secure environment in which we can enjoy them. And I found it. I compared this a lack of regulation against the laws of Kenya. I found that the law here in Kenya doesn't really have talk about video games, but we find that the law does provide for consumer protection, and I only feel that it's fair that these laws extend to the video game industry to make sure that we have a safe environment for everybody to enjoy the games while at the same time be safe and be protected. I don't feel that I also felt that it wasn't really fair that we talk about video game companies making billions, because the video game industry is valued at, is said to be over $1 billion. It's said to be $1 billion industry, but I feel it's only fair that those the publishers and the developers of this game make money in a manner that's ethical, not profiting off the potential addictive nature of video games. And actually, to this effect, I actually wrote my thesis on this, and honestly hope that in future, the African continent, our governments, our legislature, our legislators start having this discussion, and we catch up to the rest of the world. Because America started having this discussion. Belgium actually banned some form of microtransactions from their from being transacted in in the country. France has started having the discussion, the Netherlands and the United Kingdom. So I wonder why Africa isn't having this discussion. So thank you so much for having me. I know my talk was really brief, but I feel it's only I felt that's all I had to say, and I hope that it's helped, like at least give you food for thought.
Hey, Vrio, just check your mic. Yeah. There we go.
Oh
Cool.
my God, I said a whole thing, right? I was like, your talk was so profound. Julie, we see you in the comments there. Yeah, so I was just like, I'm trying to read what Julie's saying and listening to what you're saying, and it's just crazy, right? Just looking at the gaming space that hasn't been explored properly by the continent, and when you're looking at the opportunities that are available to different people as well. So Julie's saying they fully agree with you, Sylvia. The microtransactions, okay, thank you. Okay, the microtransactions are really addictive for young players who do not realize what money really is. That is so right. Yeah, so I think it's just going to be very interesting. And now, what is the future of gaming going to look like with the metaverse? I don't know who's for it, who's not really for it. But I know if you're using something like what's this? MetaMask, for example, obviously they've got their own currencies that are running there, so that's pretty cool. And then now Stephen is saying that's why there are some major restrictions in China. Yeah, we agree. I don't know, Sylvia, do you want to take the questions away?
Sure. If there are any questions as to this, I'm more than happy to answer, because this is a passion project of mine. As I said, I know the video games have been a bit of a contentious issue, and this is part of the contentious nature of the industry. And I feel it's only fair that we start having the discussion and ideally come to a future where we actually self-regulate rather than have the government come in and overreach in private enterprise. We know our situation better, and we only need to have the authority to do so that's backed by law.
100%. Julie is also saying maybe it would be great to have a working group across African countries to evaluate the possibilities like the EU. Yeah, so I think I definitely agree with you there. And like, I think your talk was just so powerful. It's making us see things with a different perspective, right? Um, Without further ado, Julie, sorry, not Julie, listen to me now. Hey, okay, Sylvia, thank you. I know you had some glitches, but we understand. You know, at the end of the day, we are people, we have struggles. We're faced with load shedding. There was an issue with the mic, but we soldier on, right?
Yeah,
Um,
thank you so much for having me. I'm really, as I said, I'm really sorry about all the confusion tonight, but I'm happy to have at least contributed to the conversation.
No, we're really grateful for you just to be a part of sharing what you've got to say. Julie, it's because you're confusing me in the chats there. Okay, Sylvia, thank you so much for joining us. So I'm gonna go off and present one last time, right? So I'm not presenting any demos. I'm just wrapping off the night. So I'm gonna share my screen again. Okay, so it's kind of like one more time. Okay, so today we had our little welcome. We had Women in Tech by the wonderful Bianca. Then we saw me, terrified, but giving you guys a demo, right? And then we had the need for consumer regulation in the gaming industry by Sylvia. But without further ado, we still have a chance to win some freebies. These freebies are calling you guys, folks. Okay, so please take a screenshot. We'll try to send the the URL link in the chats, but take a screenshot, answer the survey, pretty please. You'll win some slag. And then remember, we love feedback. Feedback helps us grow. So it's kind of like continuous integration, continuous deployment. We also want to grow, right? So please, please, please give us feedback so we can improve. But also remember, if you want to give a talk, right? I just want to, yes, if you want to be a speaker, get in touch with us. We're on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. Check us out there as well. Whether you're experienced or you're new, we'll have more Women Tech Maker events, more technical talks, and we'll have wonderful speakers, but with your help, right? We're not going to do it without your help. So we're not going to be able to, right? And last but not least, I'm a rush now. So you can go grab a glass of wine, a beer, whatever you like, water. That's cool too. Thank you so much for attending. Like without you guys, none of this would have been possible, right? So just to be able to showcase, even if the community is still small, we're growing, right? That's the main important thing, but we'll grow with your help. And I just want to say a massive thank you for joining us tonight, spending your Wednesday afternoon with me and a bunch of other people. Thank you, and have a good one.